What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Gundam-based exclusive high-grade Gundam G Self-Perfect Pack movie version from the Reconguista in G movies. Combining all the features of the previous G Self backpacks into one, it also combines the solid aesthetics of the existing high-grade and updates it with the movie aesthetic and 2024 engineering. Since the original high-grade G Self-Perfect Pack box was already a hefty one, this updated version is no different, with 3 of the 18 runners and the 2 sticker sheets being new to this kit, besides the included action base 7. And despite the majority of the build being identical to the original, the changes brought about by the new parts aren't to be underestimated, as they mostly contribute to the new head and chest sculpts, with the former being so intricate you have to keep track of even the tiniest of clear pieces, and the latter being deceptively simple despite being a crazy improvement. On a similar note, the shoulders have also been remodeled to provide further color separation, but the change is comparatively minor. It is indeed more intricate to assemble compared to the original, but that refreshes the build experience to a degree and makes it exciting despite it being mostly identical. Naturally, I'm only going to be covering the differences, so if you want to know more about the common inclusions, please check out the original review first. Oh, my apologies, I was picking up my jaw off from the floor. Anyways, as much as I already liked the original high-grade G-Self aesthetics, this updated version is undoubtedly a massive improvement. The wider head and face with those larger eyes, and the larger, chest vents, along with those, for lack of a better comparison, clear bra pads over them refracting the tiny notches around the edges, plus the updated shoulders and shorter front of the biceps really give that extra punch to the visuals of the already punchy G-Self Perfect Pack, while representing the movie design really well. Naturally, the color separation on the new parts is fantastic, especially on the head, with the yellow details and photon batteries replaced with plastic parts, no matter how small. Similarly, the shoulders have fully color separated blue and yellow parts, hence adding visual definition while reducing the need for stickers. On that subject, however, nothing much has changed. Besides the original ones like the yellow stripes on the forearms, metallic blue photon batteries, white hand covers and feet accents, and the black inside the chest vents, the shoulders still use stickers with horrendous borders for the red lightning pattern, which should have been just a pattern cropped out instead. Meanwhile, the black for the shoulder vents and the backing of the forehead piece are more acceptable looking. On that note, the batteries on the chest, elbows and knees, as well as the eyes can be replicated with plastic stickers as if they're a separate piece. Although, while the blue batteries are fine, the eyes are a bit tricky to apply with dodgy results since plastic stickers aren't malleable by nature, so applying them over a curved piece is a bit of a pain while looking like an entry grade when viewed from underneath due to the thickness of the stickers. Besides, the black stickers that don't comprehensively form the surrounding border makes things more complicated than they needed to be. Honestly, I'd recommend going for the standard stickers since they have the lens patterns anyway, and painting in the black border yourself with a fine tip marker. Moreover, in the pursuit of reflectivity, both the clear pieces and the battery stickers have been stripped of their UV reactivity, which is a slight shame if you ask me. From there, the top crescent of the clear forehead piece needs some blue paint, since the clear blue section for the detail is mostly invisible, and the joints for the traffic vents and perfect packs still need to be painted blue due to their reuse from the old kit. Also, while I feel like the detail on the clavicles is a bit gratuitous, bringing out the surface detail with panel lining is probably the best way to make them mesh well with the body. Those nitpicks aside, there's no doubt that the updated high-grade G Self Perfect Pack is a massive upgrade compared to the older one, to a point where I would say that it overwhelmingly trumps the older kit, at least visually, because of how well the new parts mesh well with the reused lower body and backpack. For articulation, since the Perfect Pack is unchanged, it will be removed for demo purposes. From there, the differences start with the hinged double ball jointed neck that is also on a hinged collar, so it can achieve an insane range of motion while clearing the clavicles, especially when looking upward. The shoulder sockets are ball jointed G-Witch style, while the beam saber holsters are on ball joints. The new shoulders retain the ball jointed movement, and the perpendicular arm raise, while the bicep armor is cut differently, enabling the double jointed elbow to bend past 90 degrees. Meanwhile, the torso can accordion up to enable the craziest frontward crunches I've ever seen, while also improving the crunches in general. The legs are connected with a new hip piece that not only retains the sideward tilts, but also features an individual leg drop to clear the skirts better for impressive kicks towards all directions. Lastly, the deeper cuts at the shin armor enables the legs to bend past 90 degrees. Articulation is otherwise unchanged from the original kit, but it's not only surprising how much the new parts improve its range of movement, but it also proves that the G-Self has some latent flexibility for all this time. Unfortunately, the ankle flexibility couldn't keep up with the rest of the body. Moreover, the accordion torso can get quite flimsy after some play, the clavicle pieces can still obstruct movement and pop off relatively easily, and the unchanged backpack joints are still as overcomplicated and dodgy, to the point where one broke during my filming process despite my utmost caution. I'm fortunate enough to have functional backups, but for the love of God, sand down the base joints a little bit before assembly to avoid this tragedy. Finally, while being an unintended feature, you can certainly prop the kit up the traditional way. However, the ridiculously sturdy dropping leg joints obscure the crotch port, so you're returned to square one if you don't prop it up by the perfect pack. In terms of accessories, besides the sets of holding and open hands and the right trigger finger hand with white stickers for the hand covers, the beam rifle, beam saber, and perfect pack accessories are all carried over. The rifle is still sandwiches into the trigger finger hand and requires heavy painting, the sabers just slide into the hands for use with the SB-15 beams, while the perfect pack features the expanding beam cannons and movable fins for the assault mode, without the red color scheme of course, the opening fins and the binders and external holograms that plug on for the reflector mode, minus the blue color scheme and looser hologram attachments compared to the original, and the separable traffic fins on the hoop of the backpack. The only semi-updated weapon is the Photon Armor Shield, which only adds detail on the bottom edge and underside of the shield, so the attachment bracket and horrendous stickers are both carried over, which is a bit of a shame. Lastly, the base adapter for the perfect pack is included, along with an action base 7 for ground support and aerial displays. Naturally, you can also revert the shoulders and side skirts back to the original G selves thanks to the original leftovers, and while the shoulders still need yellow paints for the vents, you can use the base G self silhouettes with the new parts to recreate as other forms if you have the backpacks and accessories. Yes, even the almighty assault pack, including the leg gear. Sadly, while the head and shoulders retain the universal connections, the new torso does not have the removable backplate, so it did unfortunately lose the universal backpack connections. Speaking of which, the leftovers naturally include the original armor parts that were replaced on this version, and while all the rare parts were excluded, making the head and torso parts useless, you can still reduce the articulation, color separation, and level of detail of the kit if you want to use the old parts instead of the new ones. Let's cut to the chase. The burning question on everyone's mind is whether the new parts were enough to save the high-grade G self from its long-running mediocrity. Well, to me, the answer comes in two parts. Firstly, the main body is everything I could have asked for from the high-grade G self, and the improvement on the looks and articulation are sufficient in eking out its latent potential despite the slight nitpicks and structural issues you might want to address. On the other hand, those add very little to the overall package as it is still largely defined by the perfect pack, which was and has been flawed and finicky in its engineering, while the weapons, especially the rifle, felt like an afterthought in the update process. Despite that though, I really like the update, as it nails the look while complementing the strong visuals of the parts it does reuse. Sadly, Bandai isn't generous enough to sell just the updated body, nor are the runners tailored for such a purpose. Never mind the 1000 yen difference compared to the standard one, and the exclusivity at least jacking up the selling prices twofold. The way I see it, the fantastic core body is held back by the package's defining feature, highlighting the visual changes more than the functional ones. And that, coupled with the potential prices, is why I think the ultimate purchase decision is still up to you, especially between this and the standard version. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching, drop a like and comment if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more content like this, and feel free to follow me on social media with the links down below. That said, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out guys, bye bye.